Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in wondering what on earth is going on here as they sit in last place at 0-7.
And it's really difficult to report to work every day with that type of a losing streak looming over you. How do you break out of it? And you're looking at each other to try and figure it out.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what...
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On the ground with a rookie from Iowa State, David Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The last time these two teams met, boy, was it memorable. Wild card weekend last year as the Eagles started their Super Bowl title defense, and they held on thanks to the doink or the double doink heard around the world on the Cody Parkey missed field goal, and the Eagles would escape 16-15. Of course, they would go on to lose the following weekend to the New Orleans Saints. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. Now Wentz. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, 89 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On second down, Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing is Bridgewater. And they get to Bridgewater. Bridgewater taken down in the end zone for a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Wentz going to throw. And he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. A big play there for Philly. 47 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
And nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week.
And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Jackson to return. Nice move at the 40. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And from down in Miami, an update. The Jets out to an early lead over the Dolphins. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. It's caught by Aguilar. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7 from the gun. It's a give to Montgomery. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Play action now. Bridgewater. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Good job.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 41 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz looking deep for his this is caught inside the 15. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big girl, back man. 180. Mike, 58, right there.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Great 15, great 15.
Now Wentz on third down. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up. He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Let's go.
For an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Here's Bridgewater, and this is going to be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Wentz now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On second and a couple, Bridgewater.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 71-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
first down throw for Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brandon Graham, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To try again after the sack, Bridgewater.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Elliott good with a PAT, and a rout is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Let's get off the field.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They are in the second quarter down in Miami. The Jets out to an early lead over the Dolphins. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. A final shot before half for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So we've reached halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in the route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. On 1st down, Wentz. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down.
Here we go. Waiting.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
On third down, it's Scott. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now Scott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Lion.
He's checking. Crash.
On second down, it's Scott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Again, it's Howard. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. They go again with Scott. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Boston Scott, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like a little bit of courage in play calling, too, because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Let's 20! Back to 59. Let's go, let's go. Big Ed, big Ed, big Ed. Here, 46 down, man, 5-4. 59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Bridgewater now. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Throwing, Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on, fellas.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I... As Sanders has it poked free. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. This one into the hands of Burton. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Set go.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater able to find Shaheen here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
At the 24-yard line.
Bridgewater again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! From end zone to end zone, it's a 106-yard return as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20.
Go!
Onto the field now come the Bears. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Bridgewater. This is Miller, complete. A nice pick up there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and very short, Bridgewater. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. Now Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Bridgewater throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Robinson's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead, and unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you. For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
Wentz to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Flush to his right. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right? As a and can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
It's our time. It's our time. Switch. Man, 5-7.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Keeps himself upright. Breaks a tackle. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. A very good gain on 1st down. 9 yards on the dump off. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Ram.
Throwing is Wentz. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Watch the screen. Two jet.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.